sure.
Everybody was choosing it, but Stephen A. the star though.
When you got the black man.
Hey, hold on, before we get too far.
Oh, okay.
I ain't gonna lie to you. You got this bullshit cake.
What you mean? You know I'm DC, nigga. DC or nothing, nigga.
Fuck out of here.
DC or nothing, nigga. DC, you better be lucky that y'all lost my Redskins one, or you really be fucked up in here.
Well, first off, this is I turned the camera on for your punk ass while I'm here. But hey man, this is not an episode of Pay This Whole Boxing, but this is just a special segment where I ain't got a chance to chop it up with the homie, and then you know what I'm saying, the homie cut the fire hell while I'm here in VA. Well, it was supposed to be for the Keyshawn fight.
We know how to fuck that.
Yeah, we all know how that went now. But shoot, here he is.
So
here's my boy O's. No, my boy, since we came out of.
Oh my goodness, what 2010? Nigga?
Got a riding grinding.
Oh my god.
You know what I'm saying? So he down here for the. Everybody came up here for the fight.
For the motherfucking fight, nigga. For the fight. And they kick it with the guys. We got a bunch of guys down here, man.
Sure. It's by what? Me, you, Will,
yo,
Rico, Hubs here.
Trying to get Ray ass.
Scrubs
Ray
here. Ray, yeah. The boys is here.
For sure, man. But that nigga Keyshawn fucked up the bag.
Keyshawn messed up the bag.
Man.
But you had asked me a question before we decided to just record this.
For sure.
You asked, why do you think, what was the fighters weight or something?
Why do I think that fighters stay at weight classes that they know they're either very close to or have already outgrown?
Oh, yeah. Most of it is always business decisions, right? And I guess for whatever business decision, let's look at it. I give you the lower weight classes as a better business decision because they're hotter right now.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go to 122. Let's go to 122 with Naoya in the way. Okay. He went up. You know, he's already up. I think Naoya's already at his 5th weight class. You know, He's a little man. He's always been a little man. So that ain't, you know, they weights has changed excessively. But he's at 122. And you got Nakatani, who we want to see him fight at 118. Nakatani's going to come up next year after that weight, and he's going to fight in a way at 122. Here was a business decision that happened at 115. Bam Rodriguez.
Mm-hmm.
Bam was at 115. He had beat everybody, won his champ 115. Then Bam goes back down to 112.
Mm-hmm.
Why would he do that when he could have stayed at 115 and went up, you know, and challenged Nakatani for a bigger fight? Business decisions, right? Those weight classes are all very tightly contested.
Mm-hmm.
It's more so fighters make the choice. Regardless of they make a choice. I'm going to stay at this weight class because I see somebody coming or somebody close, and or I want to avoid the noise of people saying, go up and fight this man, or you and this man should fight.
So, respecting the art that boxing is, it's very tough to say that anybody is ducking a certain person because of the nutsack in general it takes to get in the ring.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
So
I would never discredit a fighter for, I'm not going to say any fighters. The only fighter we can probably get in history and say somebody was scared is Riddick Bowe. You know how that when he threw the belt in the trash can. And
Indeed.
We can give it that because, you know, Lennox Lewis broke his heart in the Olympics.
So
Miss Riddick, if you just by having to see this, bro, I don't want no smoke. You and my dad are cool.
And
you're still cool. We just talked to each other while we was in Vegas the other day.
And real, you was one of my favorites growing up too.
And I don't want no smoke. So, you know, let's call that right then and there.
So why do you think the ducking narrative is the first one folks go with when a fighter decides to stay at a weight? Because you know you're kind of starting to hear those grumblings a bit with Inoue.
Because people don't know.
Because people want him to go up and fight those 130 guys.
Ignore those people.
Especially after he beat Scooter.
Those people, word to Roger Mayweather.
You don't know shit about boxing. It's the real deal.
They don't know shit about boxing. And people think boxing is just as simple as punching people. And not realizing that this is still a business.
Very much so.
There's still promoters that have to get theirs. There's still a lot that goes into this as far as a career. Because unfortunately, we live we're getting more boxing fans that got used to watch, or some of them watch MMA. And now they in this microwave society of boxing.
Mm-hmm.
Where as soon as a cat lose a fight, what they want to say?
Damaged goods, or maybe. I mean, that's
Give me some of the key words. They lose a fight. What happens? Oh, he got exposed.
Yeah,
he really a bum.
Yeah.
He trash. I told y'all he was weak.
Yeah,
and that may not be true. Sometimes it's a bad day in the office, or sometimes the guy is just that good.
Facts.
More recently, Caleb Plant against Resendez. Caleb Plant might be better than Resendez skill for skill all day long, but a bad game plan changes all of that. Boxing ain't just a fight; it's a game plan. People don't just fighters, and we don't just go in there and just be like, "Bet we gonna swing and see what happens is best."
So you don't think that was a very common case of looking past your opponent with Caleb?
No, that was a game plan situation.
You think
to
so?
Me, that's a bad game plan. Because you know how Mexican fighters are. You know what they do. You saw Resendez's film. You saw how Elijah Garcia and them knocked him out. You may not be able to do what Elijah Garcia does, but you can look at the things that were negative for him, and you can take that and add more positive to you. You got to think about when you fight a fighter, you going into the ring, you have to have at least 4 plans to beat a fighter.
Okay.
That was one thing that George harped on that I never took to heart, really, because I was in there freestyling on pure athletic ability.
Of course, which most of us do.
Pure athletic ability.
Which most of us do.
Pure athletic ability and punching power.
Okay.
Like, I did not watch even if they gave me a film on a cat before, I did not watch it. So I'll just be like, oh, whatever he shows me, I'll see it. You know what I mean? And that was stupid. I treated the professionals like amateurs, and that wasn't smart.
Okay.
But
so with
Caleb's in the end, you got to have 4 game plans going into it. You plan your work, you work your plan. That's what that is. And Caleb, to me, it was just a bad game plan.
So you think in 9 out of those 10 fights, Caleb wins, just that one exception?
Correct. He didn't look at it from the Trevor McCumbee fight before that in September.
That was a phenomenal
fight.
Was
correct.
That was a phenomenal fight.
He made an adjustment too. He went to his second game plan. You see what I'm saying? You had one game plan, he was punching you left and right around the ring. Then you went to the next game plan. Game plan 2 worked.
So you attribute that misstep to preparation.
Correct.
Okay, so now where does he go?
Easy.
Is
rematch.
They
got a rematch. So it is.
Okay. So does that jeopardize the Charlo fight?
Nah.
You don't think so after the performance?
Nah, you don't. It gives Charlo another chance to have another fight to get himself back right. So, nah. Now, even though I'm in firm belief, if you decide to sign on the dotted line and jump in that ring, you are ready.
Yeah.
Simple as that. I don't give a damn about nothing else. If you agree to sign that contract and jump in that ring, you are 100% ready for that.
So anything outside of that, you ain't trying to hear that shit.
No.
You ain't trying to hear no excuses for real.
Cut that shit off.
Okay, so how does Roach Davis 2 go? And what do you think? How do you think the first one went? Do you think the draw was right?
No.
What did you feel? What did you feel?
To me, I thought Lamont wrote it. To me.
Really?
I did. Lamont won that fight to me. I still won that fight. I mean, I'm on record saying it, you know what I'm saying? Whatever. We you know. But people have this unfortunate bias as it relates to boxing, and you cannot, judges and all, they cannot have a bias when judging rounds because each fight is essentially a Super Bowl.
Okay. You
get one time to get this right?
Yeah, for sure. I follow.
And the belt is up for grabs. It's not like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you came in as a champion, but the belt is up for grabs. And the difference here is you can't say, well, nothing happened really, so the champion gets the benefit. So you just giving away a touchdown, right? Just because. Like, that's just like saying, well, the first quarter nobody scored, but I'm going to give them 3 points just because.
Right.
That ain't how that goes. It's not how that goes in life. Like, you look at it round for round, action for action, piece for piece. Whether it's a lot of action or not, you look at what did happen.
Okay.
You look at it minute for minute. That's how you look at a boxing match or look at a boxing round. A minute for a minute. You got 3 minutes to look at it.
I never looked at it in that aspect. I'm definitely going to adopt that.
So what happens if you see 2 minutes of a round and a man is controlling and doing everything in 2 minutes of a round, in the last 30 seconds, you going to, just because the man decided, like Sugar Ray Leonard used to do, still around. Last 30 seconds, all of a sudden he throwing a flurry of punches.
Mm-hmm.
So he did it in 30 seconds, and the man was on him for 2 minutes and 30 seconds, and he lost a round? No. I'm not giving you a round just because you showed me something in 30 seconds, bro. Like, what you doing?
Right. Objectivity. I see.
That ain't how that work.
No, that's probably not how it should work. I feel like last time I watched it, I think I may have had Tank 7-5. I have to watch it again. But of course, we all know that the huge controversy was the knee.
Oh, yeah, you know how that goes.
So you feel like that should have been less controversial than what it was? Yeah. Should it have been a knockdown?
Absolutely. You cannot take a knee unless instructed or anything instructed by the referee. And then he started counting, which means knockdown. So
you feel like the ref acknowledged the knockdown?
Steve Willis did. He started counting and taking the corner. And then he stopped it. That's why Lamont yelled at him. Why you stopped?
I was about to say, why the fuck would he stop? I think that's probably everybody's question.
It was. That's why you ain't seen Steve Willis since. Respectfully, Steve, I love you. But you know, but they know how to hire the referee in little shows here in between, and you know, that's just what they go. That's why you see Tom Taylor in fights now.
That's tough. That is tough. Happens. So, how do you feel the rematch goes?
No clue. Both men had things they could have did better.
Absolutely.
So I don't know how the rematch goes. Because I get why people say draw, straight up. Because it was a tightly contested fight.
I agree it was as well.
So I don't know how the rematch goes, so I can't say what happens. Do I think what the first fight did show me is more adjustments can be made on Roach's end. Because if Gervonta wanted to find a different adjustment, skill-wise, not power. Power is not a skill.
Agreed.
If he wanted to find an adjustment skill-wise, he should have. Or he just couldn't. Because Lamont neutralized a lot of things by little stuff he did on the inside. Lamont fights well on the inside. So,
So do you think it was a lack of focus on Tank's end? Or
nope.
Do you think
I don't know. I told you I don't account for that.
Oh yeah, you don't give a fuck about none of that, huh? You know that because